The moment I saw the potential of MNC companies coming and creating jobs, then I realized this is going to be a massive transformation for India to create more high-paid jobs. A country with 1.4 billion population, all these years job creation was happening thanks to IT services industry. Suddenly there is a big question mark. What will happen to India's job creation opportunity? Or people have to, whoever is they're working in the conventional industry, conventional technologies, they have to, there is no alternative. They have to quickly adapt, and they should get the new weapons. Many startups are dying. 80% of the early stage startups are dying because of not having mentoring, not having the right money, the right time, no market access. India has got a lot of problems. Every problem is an opportunity for a startup. It's not like a dot-com days. I mean, you create an app and that becomes a unicorn. Those days have gone. Unless you identify a real problem, solve the problem, scale that problem up, India itself is a big market for startup.
Hi, I am Bharath Jatangi, co-founder of Pace Wisdom. Welcome to an episode by Pace Wisdom, the podcast that brings you inspiring stories and insights from successful entrepreneurs and unsung heroes. We just wrapped an incredible podcast with the legendary J.A. Chowdary, or the so-called Jakkampudi Adiseshaiah Chowdary, the mastermind behind India's IT revolution. From his rural roots in Andhra Pradesh to founding software technology parks, shaping Hyderabad's HITEC City, and co-founding PortalPlayer that powered the first Apple's iPod, Jay's story is pure inspiration. Why should you listen? This episode unpacks how Jay made India a global IT powerhouse and his bold take on AI's impact on jobs and priceless advices to entrepreneurs like us at Pace Wisdom. Packed with untold stories and strategies to thrive in the AI era, this is a must hear for anyone chasing big dreams in tech. Dive in now. Welcome to an episode, one more stunning and brilliant episode with none other than Jakkampudi Adiseshaiah Chowdary sir, one of our mentors, J.A. Chowdary sir. Sir, welcome to an episode.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have prepared a few set of pointers that I feel like I wanted to ask you, because I have learned a lot from you. I just want the rest of the world also to know and learn from your immense wisdom. So coming into this context, I just want to ask you some of the questions.
Sure.
I don't want to start like others, starting like telemetry testing days of yours. Okay.
So,
Yeah. I don't want to talk about telemetry testing. I would want to talk to you much earlier than that.
oh,
Okay. So because everywhere everybody talks to you from there and they ask you how the journey is. But I know the foundation is much earlier to that, to reach to that phase.
sure.
So I really want to get some insights on that. Taking that cue from there, I just want to ask you, like, can you take back to our earlier days in Battalapalli, Andhra Pradesh, where is your home ground? Okay. And say that how that rural environment helped you set up the complete journey for technology and innovation.
Yeah, those days, particularly in Rayalaseema, Anantapur district, but Anantapur we used to call, Ananta means infinite.
Yes.
Infinitely poor, infinitely poor. So no water, no industry. Everybody, whatever, they have to figure out a way through getting some education, get some job. So in that environment, my father thought that I was not that intelligent during my childhood days. Even now, of course, I don't feel that I'm intelligent. But among my siblings, I was lowest IQ, and my father always used to recite one mantra, Yeddu Muddu Enpotaya Swarupaya Mangalam. He will not be useful. I don't think he will, maybe he will get on to the agriculture and all that. In that environment, I grew up. First 3 classes, first class, second class, third class, I failed. Fourth class, I had a good mentor. My class teacher by name Anjanappa. He was the one who brought transformation in me. I don't know what he saw, that drive. He asked me to play in dramas and asked me to recite some poems and all that. I myself got a little bit of confidence. Oh, I can also do all these things. That is the first time in my life I passed without any external influence, passed my 4th grade. And with that confidence, it went on and I was able to this thing. But in that environment, in a poor agriculture family, my father thought that I can become at best a bank clerk or a government clerk. When during that time, they introduced the Telugu medium degree. Till such time, there was no all English medium degree used to be there. Up to intermediate, we went through the Telugu medium. When the government introduced the Telugu medium degree, my father said, "Oh, Telugu medium degree will be useful for you. You also get typewriting lower and higher. We will definitely get a government clerk post."
So the target was to get a government job.
That was the only goal.
Only good. Okay.
With that intention, I got my typewriting lower, higher, BSc degree in Telugu medium. I tried my level best to get into some clerical jobs. One Bartley Boy company advertised for some clerk post. I was not even qualified to go for the interview because my grades in BSc was 2nd grade, I think. So because of that, I could not fulfill what I want to become, because anyway, I was not getting any job. Being the eldest in the family, I thought always I should get into job and take care of my other siblings for that was the only responsibility. When I got into MSc, because I could not get any job, so instead of wasting time, nearby Anantapur, this thing, I got MSc physics seat. In my class, all my classmates were from good colleges, convent educated, distinction, first class, minimum first class, where I was 2nd class, Telugu medium, from ordinary college. Then I thought, oh, if I don't get first class in MSc, then I will never be able to get a job. Then how do I take care of my siblings' education, all that? That was the trigger for me. And I, with that determination, I had to somehow get first class.
Competition.
Yeah, without first class, I will not be able to get a job. I will not be able to take care of my family. Because agriculture hardly used to get anything, no water, what agriculture is there. So that was the real trigger, and that really made me to achieve bigger things. I became university 3rd in the entire university, and though I was lowest in the class, and I was able to surpass many of my classmates, and that is the beginning of my new journey. Then afterwards, I think no looking back.
So you tasted the success there and you just continued the same mantra all through your life.
Yes.
That's so brilliant. Since I know some more about you, I always wanted to ask you this question. Like in your early career at ISRO, you got a chance to work with satellites like Bhaskara and Rohini, which led to an NDRC Innovation Award to you. What was the defining moment from that time that sparked you an entrepreneurial spirit?
Probably, I think without my knowing, there is some entrepreneur in me. Always I used to take some risky decisions. When I got a job in ISRO, working in, it was a guested officer.
This was the first job after MSc, right?
Yeah, first job I got some junior college in Anantapur district itself.
As a professor?
As a lecturer, junior college lecturer.
Oh, you did a lecturing job first. Wow.
Yes.
Oh, this was less known to the world. Okay.
Yeah. What happened when I got that job, I felt that I'm not learning anything. Whatever I knew in MSc, I mean, that's good enough to teach those intermediate students. I was not able to upgrade my this thing.
That is what made you choose ISRO?
No, I thought I should leave this job and join for PhD.
PhD, okay.
Research program. Then I resigned and I asked my dad, Dad, I want to resign. Why you want to resign? You are the only earning person in the family. No, I'm not able to, I'm getting bored, not able to learn something new. My dad, he said, whatever, I don't know what is good for you, what is not good for you. I can't really guide you, but whatever you feel is good for you. You'll have some difficulty in providing education to your other brothers and all that, but I'll manage. But you go ahead. He gave me that permission. I should thank him wherever he is. So he allowed me to resign. Otherwise, from that poor condition, and having a job, government job, and getting a good salary. And he allowed me to resign and join for a PhD program in the same university. So that was one way, it was a turning point for me. When I joined for PhD, then this financial problem became much bigger. Then I thought, no, I was not able to concentrate on the research and all that. Then I started, I should get into some job again. Then I was looking for openings and all that. In the meanwhile, I saw one advertisement from ISRO Satellite Center. Then I applied. Somehow I
and the rest is history. Which due to the NDRC Innovation Award with 2 happening satellites, then Bhaskara and Rohini. How was the journey with that, and how did that lead to the entrepreneurial journey? That was my previous question. And
yeah, that was not my entrepreneurial journey.
no, I mean, that seeded your entrepreneurial journey. Do you think so?
I don't think so, because I joined for the sake of I had to get my salary to take up my brothers. That was the only objective, motive. I was not, though I was working in satellite telemetry, in all this Rohini, Bhaskara and all that this thing. But my motivation is somehow I'm able to take care of my brother's education and all that.
How big was the team with Bhaskara and Rohini satellites?
That time we were in Pinya Industrial Estate.
Oh, okay.
They were all in temporary sheds and all that. So that's where these satellites were built. No, not in high fly. This thing is ordinary industrial sheds, which got converted. I think all put together was about 1,000 people working those days.
Wow.
Yeah.
And building some happening satellites, which was revolutionized later. Wow.
Yes. Professor U.R. Rao was our director for ISRO Satellite Center, Bangalore. But for your question, Bharath, actually that was not the triggering point for me to think of becoming an entrepreneur. My always this thing is, how do I take care of my family, my brother's education and all that. So during that time, my brothers from Anantapur, they went to Hyderabad for higher studies. Then I was not able to manage one family in Bangalore and one family in Hyderabad. Somehow I wanted to go to Hyderabad, and together we can save money. Again, no such this thing. I mean, no, I'm working in satellite telemetry. ISRO was a very prestigious job during that time. But my philosophy was, being eldest in the family, I had to take care of my brother's education. That was the only triggering point.
How long was your stint with ISRO?
About 2.5 years.
Oh, what made you leave ISRO, and where did
that's an interesting story. So when I was applying for some jobs in Hyderabad, when all my brothers were there, I saw one advertisement by BHL R&D for a scanning electron microscope operator. Whereas here I was a very gazetted officer, and there it's a lowest job, that to an operator. I did not look at any of those things. I had to go to Hyderabad, take care of my brother's education. I can mentor them, and so that expenditure will. So I applied, I got the job, and when I went to BHL R&D to join, that administrative head asked me, looked at my face, Mr. Chowdary, you know what you are doing? What is it, sir? You are joining here as it is a gazetted officer executive post. You are joining a non-executive. You know how many years it will take for you to go to the same position where you are in ISRO? I just guessed maybe 10 years. No. Just before your retirement, you may become a non-executive to executive. Better go back and join the ISRO. It is not the right place for you, he suggested.
Was the salary higher or lower for you to?
See, during that time, when Government of India, if I re-job this thing, any government public sector, they have to match my salary.
Oh, okay. The scale has to be matched.
Yeah. Whatever money I was getting, money they had to give any central government job, any central government public sector. If I join, I mean, that money, they can't give anything less than what I was getting in. So that was the only my intention. I'm getting the same salary, but I'm taking care of my family. What job and all that, I was least bothered. So he said, okay, you are the destiny if you are. Yeah. So I joined BHL R&D. I was asked to work in a metallurgy division, where the microscope, electronic microscope, Cambridge scanning electron microscope was there. where all the metallurgists, they used to come with metal samples, and my job was to polish that and put it under microscope and expand this thing, call them an intercom, and then they will come and examine. But what happened in that process, they were kind of irritating me. I mean, they used to throw the samples to me. Mr. Chowdary, you polish this and call me on the intercom. I didn't like that. So then afterwards, somebody told me BHL is an engineering organization. Between engineers and non-engineers is like a forward cast and the backward cast kind of a this thing. That kind of a difference will be there in engineering organization.
Are you in the public sector?
In public sector, that's what first time I came to know.
Wow.
Here they treat only engineers with respect. Non-engineers are treated like this only. Then that triggered me. No, because I'm MSc. Though I am equally capable, they are ill-treating me. I should also become engineer.
Okay.
Then how I can become an engineer? This thing. So I was looking for opportunity. Fortunately, I saw one day in Hindu newspaper their advertisement. This thing in IIT Madras. They are looking for MSc Physics for a solid state. MTech in solid state. They are eligible, but they have to write the entrance test and all that thing. I wrote the entrance test and I got the admission. MTech in
IIT
Madras. When I came back and told my division head, Somasundaram was metallurgy division head, sir, I got MTech seat, but I can't go leave because the salary is important. I have to take care of my brothers. Can BHL sponsor me? No. How can you sponsor you? Who is going to do your job? He rejected my application. Then somehow I met the head of the BHL R&D. This who used to live in Delhi. Once in a while, he used to come to Hyderabad for inspection and all that. I met him and convinced him that sponsoring me will be good for BHL.
As an asset to BHL that you can produce a lot of things.
Correct.
Yes.
That's where the real innovation thing happened.
Okay.
So he asked me, what is that BHL is going to get by sponsoring you to MTech? No, sir, I will, my MTech project, I will take it something related to BHL. That will be useful for it. So you somehow believe in my argument. See, the drive, Bharath, it's not the intelligence. It is a drive.
Drive, passion.
Drive, passion, make it happen kind of attitude. Suppose if it is only intelligence, I was not that intelligent. It was just average this thing from a rural background. But somehow God had given me the drive to somehow make it happen. So that enabled me to convince the BHL head of the R&D. He agreed and he sponsored. Then as promised, I did a MTech project related to BHL R&D. See, those days, all the thermal power stations, the BHL turbines we used to supply, and the blades used to rotate at a very, very high RPM. And any scale, silica or this thing, any pollution or this thing, immediately at that high speed, they used to break. And there used to be a big loss for BHEL, power stations and all that. So I identified that as a problem. And I provided online monitoring, pollution monitoring equipment using Intel 8085 microprocessor with all that this thing, without any manual intervention. Automatically, whenever it sees any polluted water going to the turbine, it used to pump in fresh water. And that we implemented in two power stations, Ennore power station in Chennai, and also Vijayawada thermal power station. That worked very well. And that became my MTech project. And that got the Independence Day Innovation Award from Government of India, NRDC award. First time my name came in the Hindu newspaper, and those interviewed me for that innovation, what I did for.
What age was this?
It must be 26.
26, you had completed a PhD, you had done your MSc.
No PhD. See, I discontinued my.
You discontinued the PhD, but you got into IIT
Madras for MTech.
So MTech is done by 26, and you already done your MSc. Yes. Then you got an NRDC award, Innovation Award. Wow, remarkable. Back in those days, it was not easy to crack things, and get an observation into getting an award was also a mammoth task.
No, I believe, Bharath, somebody is guiding me. That will always, because I was always looking at not for my progress, I have to become a guest officer. I should take care of my career. I always looking at how do I take care of my brother's education. Always family all the time. That probably God must have seen, and He has given me MTech in IIT. He has given me the award, this thing. And later on, when I came back with IIT MTech, this BHL people, no, you have to go through the complete cycle of
from the first.
From this year you joined as a scientific assistant 1. Then I said, okay, enough. Then that's when I applied for the Department of Electronics. When there was a lateral recruitment they were doing, a deputy director post, I applied for that, and because of my MTech, because of my innovation award, I got that job. So whatever I lost in ISRO, along with my colleagues who joined along with me, I got the same level by joining Government of India Department of Electronics. Plus, I got the IIT MTech Innovation Award. All those things.
All of bonus.
Yes.
Got it. So how long was your Department of Electronics journey?
That was the new beginning of my entire life. Today, whatever people are talking about my STP journey in Bangalore,
Correct.
Hyderabad, Chennai.
That's the most important part I want to come to, but still, yes.
Yeah. See, had I not taken that step for the family, joining BHL, I wouldn't have got MTech, I wouldn't have joined the Department of Electronics. I would have probably retired as a scientist, G or H in ISRO, ISRO Satellite Center in Bangalore. Because I sacrificed for the family, God has given so much visibility, so much this thing, allowed me to get all these things. So that is the beginning of my new journey by joining the Department of Electronics. That time, it was a policy-making body for the entire country for computer hardware, computer software. That's where the first software policy came during...
Which year was it, Chowdary sir?
In 1995.
Okay, so the government started its policy for software in the year
during that period, yes.
1985.
Yeah, during that period only, the Texas Instruments want to come to India to see during that period what happened. All TCS, Infosys, Satchem, all these companies, they're simply doing the body shopping, recruit some people from IITs and place them in some companies because there is no developmental activity.
How was the IT landscape in India then? I'm sure the adaptability is zero. Yeah?
Zero, because there are no jobs here. All the jobs are there in US. Listen, most of my classmates also went to US. Other than the ISRO and maybe BRC, there are no jobs here, good jobs.
I think those were the days where computers were massive. In one room, one computer, one or two rooms, one server.
Like in computer itself, see, I've seen Infosys, Narayanamurthy Garu, and all other people. They used to wait in our Department of Electronics corridors for getting the import license for IBM S400 or some of these things. And we used to take months together to give those things because that was a peak license, Raj.
What was your early conversation with Mr. Narayanamurthy? Do you remember that?
See, that time I did not meet Narayanamurthy during that period, but I met him when I was posted in STPI Bangalore. That time that was my first meeting when I gave the approval for IBM AS400 machine to Infosys. He came all the way to my office in Pinya Industrial Estate, and he thanked me with a small sweet box. And he took me in his ambassador car to, I think, Jayanagar office where they installed the IBM AS400 computer. That was a great
proud moment.
Yeah, proud moment for me to see small companies becoming multi-billion dollar,
more than enterprise, yes.
Unicorns, creating so many jobs, so many economic activity and all that. Yeah, that transitions, me going to Department of Electronics enabled me to get into the policy making body. And when they started STPI scheme for, it was an experiment.
So you were part of Department of Electronics.
Correct.
And then you were posted to STPI by the Government of India.
No. How it happened? See, during that time, the MNC companies wanted to come to India because manpower. All the premier institutions.
I think globalization had started by then.
Yeah, not globalization, because for their own existence, any knowledge industry, manpower is...
But was the ease of doing business in India?
Bureau is a license charge. Okay, very difficult for anybody to survive.
But still they preferred because of the sake of manpower.
Only manpower, because what happened, when our IT companies started placing our IIT engineers in Texas Instruments and other, they saw the potential of
Talent.
Indian talent. With only few people, we were able to get so many things done. If only we go to India, have access to the large pool of manpower, then we can develop. See, for any product company, time to market is very important.
True.
How
That's what I
quickly you can produce your product before your competition.
True.
For that, in knowledge industry, raw material is people.
True.
Unless you have people at scale, then only they will be able to develop multiple products when ahead of the your competition. Plus cost effectiveness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean those days, I mean cost arbitrage was between US and India was like this. So with that cost arbitrage available to these people at scale, so they thought that coming to India is going to be beneficial for TI to set up a development center. They approached government of India. They said they wanted so list of the things they have to set up. They had plans in other country other than India, but they preferred India because of the availability of the manpower. Then what happened? They asked this thing, we want a single window government clearance. We don't want to wait 8 months to 9 months by the time technology changes and all that is thing. We want immediately the import licenses to be given. Even exporting from India to other countries, there's so many regulatory clearances required. RBI, people have to apply to RBI. RBI is to take their own sweet
time to process transactions. Yes.
Oh, it was so difficult. No, that much this thing we cannot wait.
Because that will actually impact on the business.
Correct. Any business, I mean, this thing. So you can't wait for months to get the export licenses.
Especially services.
Import license, export license. They were not worried about the customs duty. Though customs duty was that time 300% customs duty for any electronic.
300%.
Custom duty.
And we talk about Trump's reciprocal taxes now.
Yeah, their taxes are nothing. India has seen the 300% duty.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but that was not, they were least bothered because they were getting good talent and cost effectiveness. I mean, see, most of the IT companies, where all the money goes for salaries.
Absolutely.
70 to 80% your operating budget, operating cost goes for the salaries.
True.
And they figured out that is more, this only importing once in a while, thinking it is 300%, they were
okay for that.
Okay for them. So, but still, they wanted a single window clearance mechanism because time is essence and all that. So, then government of India said, no, these powers, different department, ministries, how can we give to single officer? It's not doable and all that. But
what was the apprehension there? The apprehension there was power.
See, people can misuse the power. With limited power, a lot of people were.
But I think the government later realized the impact of business which can create it.
Later on,
Yes.
initially they nobody knew that
Depth of value what it can.
Yeah. So finally they said, okay, we'll do a small pilot experiment with Texas Instrument. If it works, we'll continue. Otherwise, we will remove.
Destroy it.
Destroy the that's why they did not even form the society.
Okay.
They said, okay, concept is operate technology park is a concept. Then there was an internal circular that for Texas Instrument, we are creating a model, STP Software Technology Park model, only for Texas Instruments on a pilot basis. Whoever wants to manage that this thing, they can apply.
And was your role being the first director or a first key person in STPI?
Let me tell you. See what happened. All my colleagues, for them, they were sitting in the peak license lodge. A lot of people were coming and that too for a temporary period. Nobody knows what is that STPI scheme, all that. So none of them applied. Only my application was there. Why I applied? Even I was not knowing that STPI is going to transform Indian IT industry to what we are seeing now. That time, my only this thing was Bangalore is closer to my native place, Anantapur. I can keep visiting Anantapur, take care of my family, visit my parents every weekend and all that. That was my only this thing. I did not come to STP Bangalore as the first director of the STPI scheme.
But you ended up becoming the founder director of STPI.
Yes. I came only with that intention. In fact, when I had a meeting inviting all the companies here, including Naranmurthy was also there in that meeting. I still remember Naranmurthy in Telugu said, "Ivanni cheptarandi government emi kaadu ivi." So
I think by then he had seen too much of government
yes,
bureaucracy.
so nobody believed that STPI scheme is going to really give that true single boost. The government licenses, import licenses, export violation, all those things, they never believed. None of them joined the STPI scheme that time. Though I had a meeting with all the local software companies and all that. But MNC company, because the Texas Instrument started enjoying, they took a building in Millers Road, Sonar Towers. On the top of the Sonar Towers, they asked us to set up the satellite earth station. To bring the satellite earth station to that Sonar Tower, they brought that station equipment in a bullock cart from that airport in Indranagar. HL airport. From there, on a bullock cart was transported to Millers Road, and they got erected on top of the Sonar Towers. And that gave the data communication link for TI to operate between US office and India office. That became very critical for them.
Wow.
Without that, they wouldn't have started the development center here, because there's no internet. The people are not having that kind of high-speed communication links in India, and they were very costly. For 64 kbps link from Texas Instrument India to Intelsat and back, VSNL was charging them 40 lakhs per annum. 40 lakhs for 64 kbps. That to half circuit. That means he add another half circuit, 80 lakhs. 80 lakhs per annum for 64 kbps bandwidth.
That is a cost unimaginable in those days.
Yeah, that's why.
For the cost against what we are trying to incur today.
Correct. That's the reason why none of the local industry, they did not take any connection from STPI from that satellite link. They said it is too exorbitantly high cost. We cannot afford to have it.
So, Software Technology Parks of India, one of the motive government started is that there are going to be investments in the country. So many companies come in and they become a regulatory body and ensure these licenses and ease of doing business is much easier for all the companies to show interest and become that body. That was the vision, right?
The vision was basically, this is going to create jobs.
Absolutely. That's what I'm trying to say.
Those days, people were going from India to US and Europe, and they were not adding to our economy. They were adding to the US economy or European.
They're learning here and they were contributing it there.
Yeah, the so-called brain drain. All the brains were trained in IITs and all that, and we used to drain all our brains to this thing. They were taking advantage. But once the Texas Instrument experiment, got big success, because they started expanding. Looking at the success of Texas Instruments, all other MNC companies, Hewlett-Packard, Motorola, all these companies, they started moving to Bangalore. In fact, they wanted to take office in Cunningham Road, Miller Road, Cunningham Road.
So the heart of the city.
Because they could take the optical fiber link from our station closer to this thing. That's why the Bangalore becomes Silicon Valley, because only in Bangalore, satellite earth station link and STPI scheme is fully operational. All the MNC companies, for them, paying 40 lakhs for 64 kbps, this thing is nothing. Because they are getting the big advantage of hiring highly talented people at a very, very low cost.
So that's a trade-off.
So that's why all the MNC companies started moving to Bangalore. They don't want to experiment in other places. Bangalore became the hub of technology. That's how that is the beginning of Silicon Valley of India.
And we were a key contributor to that.
Now, God has given that opportunity.
Now, that's a great thing that you becoming a founder director of STPI. And you have been the idea also that you have to influence global companies to come and invest in India. That is the main agenda, right? I understand. And from there, you went on to create a HITEC City in Hyderabad. Okay, which was revolutionized, right? Bangalore became a Silicon Valley, and then you took up a step to make HITEC City. And what challenges did you face then in selling India as a IT hub? Selling India itself as an IT hub, though the talent was there, but selling it to a larger audience, saying that India is an IT hub, why don't you come and invest? And making Silicon Valley and HITEC City. All the way, how did you transition from Bangalore to Hyderabad? And how did you sell India as becoming an IT hub? That's the question.
Yeah, so when all the MNC companies took advantage of STPI scheme, then government realized, oh, this formula is working. Then we got the officially, they sanctioned budgets for STPI, created a society for, till such time, I mean, I see my office was in Pune Industrial Estate. They attached me to one department of electronics. It's called ETDC, Electronics Testing and Development Center, located in Pune. Because for me to get a salary, some government of India institution in the same department. So they attached me to that. From there, because there is not even society was formed, Miller Road TI operations were there. And there was not even a car for me, no PA for me. I used to drive from Pune Industrial Estate to Miller's Road on my Bajaj Chetak this thing. Then when I requested Karnataka government to allocate land to set up the technology park, initially I asked for Koramangala. Koramangala is a little closer to the city. No, Koramangala, there is no land here to go to Electronic City. So they gave me land in Electronic City. Then I don't have any option.
There were 90s.
That was in 80.
Oh, 80s, okay.
89.
89. Oh, okay.
88.
88 in Electronic City.
Yes. So they said there is a Kion is building empty. This thing will give you that building on rental. This thing you set up your.
Was the roads there to go to Electronic City?
My small road. And Nayanmurthy used to curse me. Mr. Chowdary, why did you take the decision to set up the software technology park in Electronic City? People are facing problem. It takes obviously a lot of accidents are happening. Sir, I don't have any option because Karnataka government gave me the land in Electronic City. Then I had to
88.
Yeah. So I had to set up my this thing. So when all these things were happening, even then the local industries were not taking the STPI license during that time because without the high-speed internet, they can't really bring the work back to India for them to have the high-speed communication, data communication link. But it was so costly. Only MNC companies can afford. That time, thanks to N. Vittal, he was our Secretary, Department of Electronics, and he saw to that this thing, STPI also permitted to operate like a telecom operator to import the satellite station to provide all the high-speed communication links or throw a price to all the software exporting companies. That was a, kind of a
transformation
period when all the local companies, because when you brought down the telecommunication cost, there is a major expenditure involved. On the rest, anyway, manpower cost is lower, infrastructure cost is lower. Then all the companies like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, they all took advantage and they started setting up their operations in the Electronic City.
That's how the birth of IT started.
Started in Bangalore. For India.
Yeah. And that's how all the global companies got influenced. And you were able to.
And all the critical manpower, senior manpower, because once you have the critical mass, others also recruiting, because raw material is required, right? For any new company, this thing, there's no raw material, they can't start their operations in. So Bangalore had that raw material. That's why they were able to grow and all that. For me, how I had to go or leave Bangalore and go to Hyderabad. See, during that time, Mr. B.N. Yuvandar, who was a IAS officer, he used to be with Prime Minister's office. He used to come.
Which year was this?
Same, during 88.
Oh, you left the STPI Bangalore from
89, I think.
Okay,
90.
So around 89, 90, you left STPI Bangalore.
Yeah, during that time, he was visiting Bangalore. He asked me, Mr. Chowdary, you are a Telugu person, Hyderabad, not even a single IT company. Why don't you develop that also? Bangalore anyway is taking off this thing. Sir, Hyderabad doesn't even have STPI office. No, I'll talk to your boss. Vittal is a close friend of mine. He spoke to our boss M. Vittal and he sanctioned STPI for Hyderabad. Then my legacy in starting STPI operations in
Hyderabad. And that was the birth of HITEC City.
Yeah, beginning of IT story in Hyderabad.
So why did you name HITEC City? How was journey with Chandrababu Naidu?
Yeah, see, when I went there in 91, we took that Maitrivanam building in Amirpet, and there no internet. So none of the companies were coming. 8 months, the entire building was empty. In fact, our finance joint secretary was asking, surrender everything, go back to Bangalore. None of the exporting companies are coming. Then I told them, no internet, because of that, companies are not coming to Hyderabad. So to get the internet, satellite earth station is required. For satellite earth station, those days, 8 crores foreign exchange has to be this thing. Our finance director, no, this is not economically viable. How can you waste foreign exchange, which is so precious, this thing, then there's no industry in Hyderabad.
Then I thought building of STPI was there, but no activities for them.
No activities, because without internet link,
You can't do anything.
you can't do any exports.
Absolutely. It is all optical fiber then. Absolutely.
It is no optical. That concept of optical fiber was not there during that time.
Not even single thing.
No, it's all about regular copper lines.
Oh.
No optical fiber communication. So only way is satellite earth station, through that microwave communication. Then only they'll get the high-speed communication link. And they are not sanctioning because there is no critical mass of companies,
Yes.
IT companies. Then
It's a chicken and egg story, right?
correct.
So you need to have somebody to consume it. For somebody to consume it, you need to have the infra in place.
Yeah, but difficult to convince the government, because the foreign exchange was very difficult during that time. We had to pledge the entire gold during the period of
Gold reserves. Yes.
a similar time.
Okay.
So very difficult to get the foreign exchange for any such things. That's why they rejected my proposal. Then I had to go to the chief minister.
Who was the chief minister then?
One Mr. Naidu Janardhan Reddy.
Okay.
He was the chief minister of combined AP and Telangana that time.
Okay.
There also Congress government. So though I did not meet him, I met the industry secretary, one Mr. Harinarayan. Told him, sir, there is a lot of potential is there for IT jobs in this thing. Our Telugu people are working in Bangalore, Pune and other places. They can all happily come to Hyderabad. We'll create a lot of economic activity. But we are not able to do it because there is no internet, there is no satellite. What is it we have to do? Sir, if you can give me interest-free loan and also free land for setting up the satellite earth station, I'll go and convince our department in Delhi that state government is very much keen on all that. He somehow understood my argument. Then immediately they sanctioned 1 crore interest-free loan for buying the satellite earth station.
90s.
91, 92. Then they gave the free of land free of cost. With that, I went to Department of Electronics and I went to my boss. Sir, Congress government is very much keen to this thing. In Telugu, that means, though I have not met the chief minister there in Andhra Pradesh, combined Andhra Pradesh, I lied to Mr. Rittal. Sir, I met with the chief minister. He is very
There was no validation.
he is very keen to develop the IT industry. Oh, chief minister is very keen. In that case, we have to, they already given the GO, giving the interest-free loan and all that. Then they sanctioned the satellite earth station for.
So out of many bureaucrats we have been hearing, it is all personal interest or many other deviations, but you are very keen to make a difference wherever you are. You just wanted to ensure you are trying, because you were a visionary then. Because of that, you wanted to see what is the difference it can make to a particular city.
Yeah, I know that. See, I've seen already in Bangalore.
Yes.
And I want to replicate the same thing, but it was not happening.
Absolutely. There was no support because people were not able to read between the lines what we were able to do.
They are not knowing. In fact, when I asked the land, the 10-acre land in Madhapur, they said, why in Madhapur? We'll give it in near Electronic City. It's all IT related. ECL is there. So they gave the land in near ECL. Says Hyderabad.
Okay.
I said, no, that's not suitable. Then they allocated land near Ikrisat in the Patancheru area. I said, that's also not. I want which is closer to the city, because I already have a satellite earth station. No, not satellite, the Naidu.
Were you able to visualize that what IT is today? Okay. Today it's a massive giant. It adds to it's a major contributor to India's GDP and economy. Were you able to visualize it will grow to this massive extent?
Initially, I was not. When I came to Bangalore as the founding director for the STP, I came only for personal reasons. The moment I saw the potential of MNC companies coming and creating jobs, that's when
when you realized it.
That's when I realized this is going to be a massive transformation for India to create more high-paid jobs. Though there were jobs in manufacturing industry, pharma industry, but the low-paying jobs. They were not able to consume this thing with the limited salaries. The moment these MNC companies came here and started giving 20 times, sometimes 100 times more salary than the other sectors, manufacturing sectors or pharma sectors, these people had a lot of money to invest.
That is when you realized it.
That's when I realized it is going to increase the economic transformation for India, not only job creation, wealth creation, all that will happen.
So that was the push for you in Hyderabad to ensure to create it so that you create more cities of these dependencies.
Absolutely.
You will be able to create greater economy. Wow.
Absolutely.
Salute to you, sir.
Thank you.
Salute to you. So I know you have been an architect in shaping the Bangalore IT world and the Hyderabad IT world. Now, then what is the story, you being a absolute lieutenant to Chandrababu Naidu, both of you tagging together, created a competitive IT world to Bangalore and India, and you made it massive. Today, so many of them have influenced from Andhra and Telangana states, and they've been replicating their jobs and whatnot in the US, and there are so many of them. And the country took a model in shape. And the inspiration was definitely when you tagged along with Chandrababu Naidu. What is the story with that?
See, before Chandrababu Naidu became the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh combined state, by then we had the satellite station, we had the land in Madhapur, all that foundation stone for technology park, all was done and all that. Slowly companies were coming and all that, but the massive transformation was not happening in spite of having the internet link and all that this thing. The moment Chandrababu Naidu became the Chief Minister, I got a call from SAM's office that I had to meet the Chief Minister. When I went there, the first question he asked me, Mr. Chowdary, I know you've done well in Bangalore. When can we cross Bangalore? When can we compete with Bangalore? Then I laughed at him. Sir, what is it? Bangalore is somewhere there and we are not even here. No. Tell me what is not there with us. Sir, we don't have any premier institutions, no IIT, no IIM. We don't have any international airport. We don't have an international school. We don't have social infrastructure, this thing. We don't have their nightlife in Hyderabad. So how do we attract? No, you do one thing. He called his IAS officer, one Mr. Andip Sudan. Every day you come with Mr. Chowdary and take the sessions, whatever required for IT industry. Let us state government this thing. We should give complete support to the central government to make sure that IT jobs are created. He was definitely a visionary. He saw the potential of
what it can make
a difference. Otherwise, Hyderabad was all full of rocks and boulders. And in Jubilee Hills, they're selling in acres. Land was sold in acres. Today, you can't get even millimeter there. So that happened because of the IT growth of the IT industry. That transformed Hyderabad, particularly the city of Hyderabad, from rocks and boulders to today like a Manhattan kind of a thing, because the foundation that what put during Honorable Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, and he was not only visionary, he was very good in execution. Suppose if I given a session, one day he asked me, Mr. Chowdary, whatever you people are asking, I am able to give all those things, but still why big companies are not coming? Then I told him, sir, we don't have IIT, we don't have IIM, we don't have any premium institutions. The quality of manpower is required. That's why only DPO companies are coming, KPO companies are coming. Good IT, big IT companies, R&D companies are not coming here. What is that we have to do? We have to create an institution of excellence in IT. Okay, you figure out how we can create. Then we came up with a concept called IIIT. IIT standard, IT focused, IIIT Hyderabad was conceived, and International Institute of Information Technology. First time that concept was coined by me, and he agreed to that this thing. And the building was also the building and land for starting that IIIT in Hyderabad was identified by me, and that's where the first IIIT came into existence. This thing like that. I mean, that building was meant for collector's office. When I told that building is required because we don't have time to take land.
Build one land.
Yeah. Then he said, okay, take this building for IIIT and we'll build something else for the
collector's.
Like that, he used to take
quick calls,
quick decisions in this thing. So his period really was a golden period for.
Can you tell some more behind the scenes of you and Chandrababu Naidu, how you were able to revolutionize this?
Yeah, I mean, see, Hyderabad, first of all, nobody knew that there is a Hyderabad city exists in India. Whenever I used to go to Comdex and other places, oh, please come to Hyderabad for Hyderabad. Is it in Pakistan? There is a Hyderabad in Sindh province in Pakistan. That was more popular than Hyderabad in India. Then I used to draw India map and put a dot. It is a 1 hour flight from Bangalore, 1 hour flight, this thing. Even then people are not coming because the critical mass of people were not there. Number of companies were less, this thing. So in fact, some of Telugu people from Hyderabad, they were working in Bangalore. I used to, why don't you come? No, sir, if I come to Hyderabad, suppose if I lose the job, then again I had to come with bag and baggage with all my kids, this thing, because the number of companies were very less. Whereas in Bangalore, within no time, without changing my house, I can get another job. So that's why they were not coming. Critical mass of the companies were not there. So it was a tough time for us to build brick by brick, bringing the companies. So in that journey, getting Microsoft to Hyderabad was a big turning point. From that, Hyderabad really got transformed, attracting all the MNC.
How was that possible? What made you do that?
See, what happened during my journey, I used to go to Silicon Valley. There used to be one association called SIPA, Silicon Valley Indian Professional Association, no tie and all that during that time. And every Saturday, the Indians, the SIPA members used to meet at Cupertino Auditorium at Hewlett Packard office in California. I used to go there and give presentations about Hyderabad and how Hyderabad is good in terms of the cost of living. In the journey, I used to meet a lot of NRIs, and I came to know that a lot of people from Seattle who are working in Microsoft are also keen to start their own startup companies. Then I used to go to Seattle and meet those employees. I made a lot of friends in Microsoft in Seattle. One day, one of the employees of Microsoft sent me a mail. Sir, our super boss Bill Gates is coming to India. Looks like there is a possibility that they may start a development center in India. Why don't you invite him to Hyderabad? So immediately I went to Chandrababu Naidu, and on this program his secretary was also with me. Sir, Bill Gates is coming. Somehow we should invite him to Hyderabad. So once you give any such this thing, the kind of perseverance what Chandrababu Naidu as a chief minister of the state, he did not leave from that day till Microsoft took a decision to come to Hyderabad. So he started sending emails to invite this thing. No responses were coming from Microsoft office. Then how to meet him? How to this thing? They were not able to give any time for time slot for chief minister to meet Bill Gates. Then fortunately, U.S. Ambassador Frank Wilson, he was coming to Hyderabad for some meeting with Chandrababu Naidu. That time he told Honorable Same, U.S. Ambassador is coming to Hyderabad to meet you. Why don't you take his influence to see that the appointment was given?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Then as usual, Chandrababu Naidu asked the U.S. Ambassador, why don't you get me the appointment? He said, no, sir, I can't control his this thing. All his calendar is fixed. But I can do one thing. I'm hosting a dinner for him, a cocktail dinner. I'm inviting some CEOs of American companies and some of the cabinet ministers and all that. You can also come. Maybe 5 minutes you can meet Bill Gates. He said, okay. So chief minister of 80 million population going and meeting one CEO of a company, that too a cocktail dinner meeting.
And with an expectation of coming and setting up a shop so that these people can make a difference for their life. That is remarkable.
That is remarkable.
That is remarkable, yeah. Absolutely.
See, then he also did one more thing. He created, using the Microsoft PowerPoint, he created a presentation. And that he presented to when he met Bill Gates. He started giving presentation by himself.
Wow.
Yeah, using that PowerPoint presentation. Bill Gates, a chief minister of 80 million population, and he's using my product and he's giving a presentation. He was impressed. That 5 minutes became 45 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
And he said, see, Mr. Naidu, I can't take these decisions. I know that you have come to invite me to Hyderabad. These decisions I don't take. No doubt we are planning to set up a development center. I'm going to send a team. Right now, our plan is Hyderabad is not there for them to visit this thing location survey is only between Bangalore, Chennai, Pune, Gurgaon kind of this thing. Hyderabad, I'll see that they'll add Hyderabad also. And whatever they decide, I don't have any control on that. After a few weeks, the team came, headed by Somasundaram, one of the senior vice presidents of Microsoft. They went to different cities. They also came to Hyderabad. After 2 weeks, I got a call. This time I got a call from the Microsoft employee. Sir, Hyderabad is not selected. Then
it was not selected first.
It's not selected.
Okay.
Then I went and told Chandrababu, sir, Hyderabad, how come, yes, you told me that this thing, I gave 45 minutes presentation to him. How come? Then he started calling Bill Gates.
Himself.
Then after 1 hour, we were able to get his line and he spoke to Bill Gates. Then he told, why did that? Then Bill Gates said, sorry sir, I told you that I will not be able to influence whatever the team. No, your team must not have got all the inputs. Why don't you send one more team? Then Bill Gates said, normally we don't do that because you are so passionate and all that. I'll send the second team. But again, whatever their decision is final. I will not influence. They will go to other places and they will also come to Hyderabad. And whatever the decision they take, that is the final. Then, as promised by Bill Gates, second team came. They also went to other locations. Somehow they decided on Hyderabad.
Wow.
That became...
the rest is history.
Everybody, all the Wall Street Journal, CNN, Microsoft, world's #1 software company, decided on setting up the only development center outside of Seattle in Hyderabad. Hyderabad, why selected? Microsoft has given reasons and all that. That became a big marketing buzz. Then afterwards, all the MNC companies they started looking at Hyderabad. That was a
game-changing moment.
Game-changing moment from for Hyderabad to become Cyberabad and go.
Okay, that's the story behind Cyberabad and
Cyberabad story is slightly different, but the MNCs coming to set up the development center, that was the beginning.
That was the limelight when the world got to know.
About Hyderabad. And Hyderabad is also good for R&D manpower and all that this thing. Then afterwards, things happened. Cyberabad is a little different story. I will tell you about it.
Absolutely. I'm so keen. This is all the government part of it. It's like, you have been thrown at challenges. I've seen your career and you have been outbeating every single challenge to the best possible extent and successfully crossing and being an example. Now, you co-founded PortalPlayer, okay, which was a revolution, which actually empowered the iPods. iPod was a sensation from the Apple. And, all the way from a government job to becoming a co-founder, creating PortalPlayer, and Apple becoming your client as a key client. And what were the key strategies you used to build a globally competitive tech company in India? Because you just not bought tech companies, you built one. Bringing one, being the bureaucrat, doing it is, I understand that's a task. But this is a mammoth task of globally recognizing building a tech company. This is a mammoth phase of your life. How did you do that?
See, I told you, I believe in God's grace. So one day what happened, when I was still having my office in Maitrivanam as STPI director, one of my roommates in the college, that time he became the IPS officer, he came to my office.
In Karnataka, Hyderabad?
In combined AP, IPS officer in Hyderabad. His name is J.V. Ramdu. He became later Director General of Police. So he asked me, he calls me Seshu. My first name is Seshu. Seshu, what is your bank balance? I said, my bank balance is 0 or negative this thing. You got 3 kids, 2 daughters and a son. How are you going to get them educated, they're all studying in the central school, Picket, hardly any fear. How are you going to get, see in our caste, getting girls married is a very big expenditure. And I know that you don't take any personal money or favors, you don't touch any corrupt money. How are you going to manage your, I said, God, so far he pushed me this thing, you will find a, no, you are doing injustice to your family. You have to leave the government and get into the private sector. How can you leave the government?
You'll be all through the government everywhere.
And that too, I'm a typical Babu in the government. I lost the technology touch and all this. What is it I can do?
It's been years that you have come out of the hands-on tech.
Hands-on tech, this thing I am only giving the export licenses and the import licenses and all that.
Been more of administration.
Yeah. No. You I think you definitely you'll do injustice to your family if you continue this thing. You have to this thing. Definitely there will be some people who can take you and all that. And he literally forced me to type my resignation letter and through email, and I sent that.
Wow. I mean, that should have been like, you are depending on a government income, and you are trying to get into something which you don't know.
Then what happened? My people in Delhi said the HITEC City building is getting inaugurated shortly by Vajpayee ji. That's our baby.
Hyderabad.
Yeah. So why don't we stay till such time? Let it get inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. Afterwards, probably you may leave.
So you created the HITEC City, you created this Hyderabad, you are the architect for it, and the moment it is inaugurated, you resigned. Such an irony.
Yeah. So the moment it got inaugurated, this thing, then people came to know that I'm leaving government. One US company called Metamar Global, they approached me whether I can be managing director, India head for the Metamar Enterprise Solutions. Anyway, I don't have any job, and they offered a good salary. Then I said yes, I will join. So that's how my transition from government to private sector happened.
Which year was this?
It was in 1998 end.
Okay.
Soon after the inauguration of HITEC City. Then when I was running that company, within 8 months or this thing, some of my friends from Silicon Valley who were working in National Semiconductor in Silicon Valley, they called me. Jay, we're coming out of National Semiconductor. We're starting a electron chip design startup. We got only limited funding, $500,000 or whatever it is, angel money. With that small money, we cannot employ people here. We have to depend on the India or this thing. Why don't you also join so that India office is going to play?
So you were part of the co-founding team?
Yes. Then they asked.
How big was the co-founding team?
About 5 people.
About 5 people.
So
5 or it's 5 people?
Yeah, 5. 4 were in US.
Oh, okay. 5.
Yeah. I was in India. All of them were in National Semiconductor. Then I joined with the team and we started PortalPlayer India, and I became the managing director for that. That time when I was leaving Metamar, almost I took 90% pay cut because this is a startup with a limited money. 90% pay cut.
Again, that's a swing.
I know that they can't afford to pay.
What was the guts behind taking all these random calls?
See, Bharath, I was always, I used to actually request some of the IT services company, why don't you get into startup and create a product and this thing, we have a lot of no, Jay, startup is a very risky thing. We are into services, very easy for us, get a customer, employ X number of people. The headcount based building, this is easy for us. This thing we can't take the risk of. But I had that India has to get into the startups. It has to create this thing, and I got this opportunity. That too in the not in the software, this thing, the hardware side, chip design, this thing. I mean that really I got fascinated with that. Though I knew nothing about VLSI, Verila, front end design, back end design, and all that. This thing, I simply jumped at the this thing. I'm getting into a startup, that too product startup, that too the chip design area, without knowing a ABCD of chip design, and I took the salary cut and joined. So when I joined PortalPlayer, it was very difficult to get the manpower in the VLS area because Hyderabad was not having that
manpower ready.
They were all in Bangalore. They were not willing to come. Some people in Pune also, they were not willing.
So you started this in Hyderabad.
So then finally, at one point of time, I want to shift PortalPlayer Hyderabad to Bangalore because critical manpower was not coming. Then I thought, why don't I innovate this thing? I recruited some people from local engineering colleges, sent all of them to our US office, got them fully trained on the VLSI chip design and all those things. They came back and they became our core engineers to develop our core chip, which we went into finally Apple's iPod. And iPod was driven.
I remember the first iPod when I was in college. It was such a fascinating tool to have. Until then it was only Walkmans, which used to come with a cassette and plug it in the ears and, flip the cassette. The clarity was not that great. You need to put a battery. The Walkman itself was a trend back in 90s, and, it was like a luxury material to have. But having an iPod was a dream for many college students and stuff.
Correct.
And you empowering that your chip was in all the iPods was
not only chipset, even the codecs, all MPEG-3, MPEG, all the MPEG-2, all the codecs were also given by us.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. And how did you exit that? What was the story behind it?
Yeah, so that time initially we thought Japanese customers are going to use this chipset to. We went to Sony. They said
okay, that was the idea, building the chip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then so we got a design win from Sony Corporation, Panasonic, Sharp, and all this thing. But none of them were taking the product to manufacturing. We got the design wins, but they were. In fact, Sony people were telling, no, our Walkman is very popular. Why we have to get into the hardware-based?
Are you disheartened by this?
Naturally, because we are not getting money. Yes. Ultimately, we need money for.
How long the slog was? All the way from we started to how many years did you see this?
No, like first to say 6-7 years building the chipset, codecs, and all of these things, winning the design wins. During that time, the September 11th incident happened, Twin Towers for this thing. We were not able to raise the money further
in the company.
This thing. And all the VC said, you cut this, cut India office, we are sending so much of money. I told them, I argued with them, if you cut, the entire development team is here. No, Jay, where is the money? We cannot send money. So I closed the PortalPlayer India and started because I don't want to lose my manpower, which I trained them from zero.
That was the asset.
Yeah. I thought, I was very fortunate when I told that I don't have money. I had to close down PortalPlayer India. And all of them said, sir, you treated like a family member. You will not leave, though we are getting good offers from Intel, Motorola at a very good this thing. Since you treated us like a family member, till you say go, we will not leave company. They started taking cuts.
Oh, salary cuts.
Salary cuts.
That must be a blessing for you, because understanding a company and taking a salary cut is...
That's to see many people who worked in products, they don't work in services company. Because services management is totally different. And I also told them, look, I don't know even how to get the business for services company, but I'll try. I spoke to one of my relatives in California. He was in LA as a doctor. I requested him to send some money to survive this thing. He sent $500,000 at least to take care of 6 to 7 months of salary budget for the employees. Then I told them, I'll pay salaries up to this. We'll figure out after that how we can all this thing. So we gave a press conference and told them we are closing down PortalPlayer India. We started a Pinex Services company. And fortunately, everybody except one employee who joined Intel, even now he repents why he joined. So in that journey, what happened? Our product was liked by Steve Jobs. Apple wanted to get into consumer electronics. And they were looking for which company has got the chip, which has got the power saving mode and all that this thing. Of all the designs, they liked PortalPlayer design, and they decided to take our chip and codecs, this thing. They want to get into this thing. So in one meeting, he liked our product. He said within 6 months, we'll come with our iPod.
That's a bazooka moment for you. Apple would have ordered some millions of chips, not 1 or 2.
Then my team from US, they called me, oh, congratulations.
How was the celebration? Steve Jobs ordering chips?
Yeah, they said, boss, you have to give your support, you have to merge back into PortalPlayer. I said, sorry, I will not merge back this thing. Then I requested you, he said, no, we don't have money and all that. Then they sent a delegation to convince me to merge back into PortalPlayer. Then afterwards, we took the company public in NASDAQ. And
oh, you took the public in NASDAQ. Yeah. Wow, that's a immense movement. Taking a company,
yes.
I mean, giving a birth in Hyderabad, living from the government job and then listing it in NASDAQ.
And afterwards, we sold it to NVIDIA for $357 million. Then I became the managing director for NVIDIA.
Okay, so the exit was $357 million.
Yeah.
Wow, that was massive.
Yes.
And then you took up the role of NVIDIA India director.
All my employees who are still with NVIDIA, whom I employed first job, they are all 90 million plus market cap because NVIDIA stocks here to skyrocket. They still say, sir, thank you so much.
So how the NVIDIA journey was also memorable for you?
Yeah, 3.5 years I was there. Then my startup bug again, this thing I started a new startup called Talent Sprint, a tech startup. That also we got a great journey.
Amazing.
When we sold it to National Stock Exchange.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have multiple exits.
Yeah, two startups, both
had successful exits.
Successful exits. In between, Chandrababu Naidu became the Chief Minister of New Andhra Pradesh. He requested me to join the government. So I joined him again. First time I joined the state government as a special chief secretary and also IT advisor to CM.
You just have there are very rough parts with your journey, but you have phenomenal successful stories with you, Chowdary sir, which is blood boiling. It is so inspiring for entrepreneurs to hear through what persistence can actually take and, ready to accept challenges can make. So you joined the government then?
Yes. I joined the government to promote.
Joined as what?
As a special chief secretary to the government of Andhra Pradesh.
Oh, special chief secretary. That means you are reporting to Chief Minister directly. Okay.
I was a chief secretary cadre.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also IT advisor to Honorable CM.
Okay.
I was promoting the FinTech Valley Vizag and tried to bring the companies into Visakhapatnam that time. There was, afterwards he lost the mandate, then I also left the government. Then I became the general partner. We started a fund, SEBI approved Category 1 AF fund.
Okay.
It's called Succeed Innovation Fund.
Okay.
We invested in about 70 odd deep tech startups.
Nice.
Now we're starting a new fund, which is about $100 million fund. So we're in the process of raising the money for that new fund.
That's amazing, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask you this question. Since you have been working directly, indirectly with AI also for a couple of years before the world knew what AI was, from your PortalPlayer days. And you've been automating many things. You've seen the tech roadmap, how it has actually taken a shape. Now we have something called AI, which is on the cross borders to enter all our lives in the businesses, and the way we go into live is going to absolutely change in the years to come. How much of impact it is going to do, and what do you think about businesses? What is the outcast of businesses with AI?
Yeah, Bharath, sometimes I feel sad. See, all 30 years we have seen growth of the IT services industry, even from remotest villages, people, middle class people, below middle class people, they got some degrees, they joined this thing. There's so much of demand for everybody. The whole economy today we're talking about is driven literally by IT industry, whether it's Bangalore, Hyderabad, Gurgaon, Pune, Chennai, all this. Today we're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar economy, because earlier in Bangalore or Hyderabad, malls were not there before IT industry started.
Correct.
Because people were not having enough money.
The spending capability. Correct.
Because of IT industry, spending capability. In fact, people used to say every employee employed in an IT company, 4 more indirect jobs they are creating. Catering job, security job, driver job, like that. So a lot of job creation, wealth creation, all that happened. And all this for several decades, this thing. Suddenly this new technology, which is generative AI and AI, sometimes I get little, what will happen to a common IT services employee? Take for example, I've seen many of my village people who got some degree and they're working in IT services industry, and they're working in, from engineer to now they have become the managers. They've got 2 kids going to international school and all that. One day, in fact, one of my village person was saying, sir, I am working in some testing area. I know this is going to be automated, this thing. Some people told me to learn some new things. In that depression mode, I am not able to concentrate to learn even this thing. I don't know, sir, what to do. Like that, many people are in that kind of a this thing. Oh, what if if I lose my job and if not able to get another job because I'm working the rudimentary IT services and all that, and I got 2 kids and I got to pay the installments for my flat which I've taken, I can't tell my kids, no, you leave international school and join some government school. Because I don't have any backing from my village. Where they're all, in fact, I am sending money to my parents and all of this thing. I don't know, sir, what, I don't get sleep. Sometimes, what happens if I lose this job? I know that one day it's going to happen. I tried to learn something, but I'm not able to focus and concentrate. So this actually leaves me, oh, this is going to be a difficult journey which we are passing through, the transition moment. So how do we really take care of those people who are working in the IT industry from villages and all that? How do we reposition them? It's going to be a mammoth task. That's one problem. The other thing is when the way people are talking about the tools, they're every few months they're upgrading the tool capabilities to the next level. People are talking about agentic software. Instead of employing the people, they want to employ agents, this thing. And in fact, somebody was telling not only IT jobs, even doctor jobs are also going to be automated. Somebody was telling the dermatologists will do job because you just take a photograph for your whatever this thing, immediately it gives whatever. In fact, it happened to me, my second grandson, he had some infection on the lips. He came to me, Tata, you have ChatGPT? Yes, I have ChatGPT. Can you take a photograph on this and see what ChatGPT? Then I took the photograph of his infection and submitted to ChatGPT. He gave the complete analysis and what medication and how many times he has to take. When I sent it to my daughter, who is a pediatrician, she was stunned. I mean, did you get this medication from any dermatologist? No, ChatGPT is given. So, to that extent, jobs are already you are talking about dark factories in China, where not even lights are this thing. Automatically, robots will manufacture everything, ship it to the truck, and truck will go to the whatever destination and all that. This thing already is happening. So, manufacturing, there are going to be no jobs because of the robotic automation. If IT rudimentary services, BPO, KPO jobs are going to be automated, HR jobs are going to be automated. So where are the jobs? A country with 1.4 billion population, all these years job creation was happening thanks to IT services industry. Suddenly there is a big question mark. What will happen to India's job creation opportunity? Some people argue that yes, the new jobs are going to be created, provided our people get
adapted to that,
adapt and get trained
pivot
in those new technology. Telling is simple, but
execution is.
But you yourself were telling some of your employees for them to learn the new things is very difficult. On top of that, the youngsters who are in the school, they are AI natives.
Absolutely,
they can do
born with AI. Yes,
they are born with AI, and the way they talk about this thing you use in fact, my first grandson is building a agentic this thing for democratizing chemistry education all that on his own, and is able to learn everything from YouTube and all that. If that crowd comes, what will happen to the present people who are working the IT?
Who are not ready to accept the change.
Yeah, not ready to. This is going to be all of us, Bharath. I mean, I don't think I have a formula to really give this is the kind of recipe how to take care.
But you're for sure it is going to be very challenging time.
Very challenging, but all of us have to really work on that this thing.
I have a question to you. Sorry to interrupt you. See, now we have seen, world has seen a lot of transformations, a lot of revolutions. Let's take it from the industrial revolution. When the industrial revolution was happening, it led to the Second World War.
Yeah.
Okay, so because there was the adaptation to industrial revolution from the manpower was much different.
Yeah.
Later on, we saw even tech revolution, something like Y2K, when it happened.
Yeah.
There was a revolution which happened and some companies had to adapt to new things.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple of other recessions and revolutions which happened, and everything, it went through a shift.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be a shift where it's going to be for a certain number of period where people are going to do, and let's say for example when the .NET revolution happened, the teller jobs in the banks were actually, it's a popular story, right? Teller jobs in the bank were actually under stake. But today they say all the tellers have been given a different responsibility when the ATMs came in. So all the tellers are employed, more number of people have put, though the advent is coming. So the argument is, with the AI, there are going to be more jobs created. And some say that with the AI, no, everything is done. So human race is going to see a very thirsting hard shift, and they're going to really face a very hard time. So there is a class of audiences in the civilization who would actually face very hardships. What is your distinct? Is it going to be opportunistic or it is going to be challenges?
Bharat, my personal views. See, those technology changes like bank automation, all those this actually created more jobs. There were linear kind of automations, the changes from one technology to other technology. There is a big gap. For example, from COBOL era to come to Java era, there's several
decades. Yes.
From Java era to ERP era, again,
so there's a gap.
This thing. Whereas here, we don't know tomorrow what is going to happen. What new tool is going to come and automate the whole. This is the tsunami of technology changes. This tsunami, nobody is able to predict tomorrow what is going to happen. Whereas in those period, there was enough period where people were able to upgrade their knowledge and sustain and created new opportunities. So that's the reason why it's a big question mark how countries like India, where population density is very, very high, how do we create jobs? If there are no jobs in the manufacturing, if there are no jobs in the IT services and all that, what are the jobs that we need to create? Only one positive argument I keep telling, for AI, without data, AI cannot survive. There are only two countries in the world, China and India. We have got good data sets, complex data sets in the healthcare or governance or space or defense or whatever this thing. If only we were able to curate this data properly and allow our startups in the AI startups this thing and enable them to train their AI models and create that AI products which can actually rolled out to globally. That opportunity is there. That's the reason why I see a lot of private equity companies coming and acquiring a lot of hospitals. I don't think they're acquiring hospitals for hospital revenue. They're acquiring hospitals
for the data.
For the data.
Like how Temasek made an investment in
all those things, underlying reason why they're there are many such companies are looking, they want to come to India because we have data. For example, you see our Aadhaar, thanks to Nandan Delkani, whatever they've done. I mean, including, I'll tell you a story. During COVID time, when I went to a temple, when I was coming out, a lot of beggars were asking me money. When I looked at, I had only big notes. I told them I don't have change. When I was about to sit, one young beggar, sir, do you have GPay? Google Pay. I don't have Google Pay, and that beggar, young beggar, he has got a smartphone and UPI, GPay, this thing. That is the level of digital adoption in this country. So that I see a big opportunity in the AI era. At the same time, our people have to, whoever is they're working in the conventional industry, conventional technologies, they have to, there's no alternative. They have to quickly adapt, and they should get the new weapons. Like I keep telling, when Kurukshetra war is going to happen, Krishna tells Arjuna, your current weapons are not useful. You go and do tapasya and get new weapons. Reload. So that is required now. This is like a new Kurukshetra war, and old weapons are not suitable. We have to get new weapons. We have to get trained how to use those new weapons. Then we are in the game.
This is actually very interesting and also scary, because the ball can shift either of the ways. It is all left to the individual to how to adapt to it. Yeah, I can understand. It's not easy. Definitely not easy. Definitely.
But opportunities are there.
Yes.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Yes.
And probably the number of opportunities may also come down, because it may be one segment and one sector focused.
Yeah.
I completely understand what you're trying to say, sir. Now, has this led you to one of your main brainchilds, Indian Startup Foundation, and your Junicorn programs, what you're doing? So I've been following avidly about your Indian Startup Foundation, which is a mind-boggling idea, and I see a lot of participation unconditionally to the vision what you're trying to set, because I know that it's an unconditional give back that you're trying to do through ISF globally, and you just want to ensure a lot of changes happen in a positive manner, and you want to bring great differences to great lives. And also, I recently heard about a Junicorn program, which was very interesting. I saw the ex-chairman of ISRO also contributing his time, effort in making the Junicorn program a huge success. So people like Arun Kumar believing in your plans is not easy, because you have definitely set a very strong foundation and a vision. What is it all about with ISF and Junicorn?
Yeah, basically, Bharath, when I thought about this new AI thing which is going to take away jobs, how do we create new jobs? That was my thinking process. I thought, why not the startups? See, today many startups are dying. 80% of the early stage startups are dying because of not having mentoring, not having the right money, right time, no market access. Why not I fix those 3Ms? Mentoring, money at the right time, and market access. If I am able to fix that using my network, I keep telling network is net worth. So I have that network should not go waste. So I thought, by encouraging the startups, giving the mentoring, giving the ISF angels money to them at the right time. See, when patient is in the ICU, what he needs is oxygen. When the company is in the startup, they need money. Without money, they will not be able to recruit right people. They will not be able to buy the tools and all that. At that point of time, money is, we can't keep on asking him, you come with a new presentation, you come to my Bombay office and all that. By the time the fellow will die. So, money at the right time, second time. And many people, though they are able to build the products, they don't know how to market it. They're like a fog in a well kind of a thing. So, that's when I realized that we have to take this India Startup Foundation to International Startup Foundation, take all these startup companies to America, to Germany, to other countries, and expose them to those markets and all that. So, with that idea, I started this journey about 3 years back. So, because job creation engine has to happen, and startups' advantage is India has got a lot of problems. Every problem is an opportunity for a startup. It's not like a .com days. You create an app and that becomes a unicorn. Those days have gone. Unless you identify a real problem, solve the problem, scale the problem up, India itself is a big market for startup. That's what I'm trying to do, enable how these problems can be curated, these problems can be given to the startup, and they will recruit people. And though it is not going to solve the entire unemployment problem, but to some extent, see, if everybody start thinking
the same progressive lines,
if I can cover maybe 10% of the employment creation, you can cover some this thing, maybe
there's a good difference.
Yes,
tangible difference.
Tangible. Plus, we can also create wealth. If one company, product company from India becomes a Google or Microsoft or Apple, that will take care of the entire India budget. Our budget is whatever $1 trillion this thing. One company's market cap is more than that. So, hopefully one day with this, because we have a huge market. India is a huge market. India has got raw material industries. We have got excellent digital infrastructure. I think that's the reason why I started this International Startup Foundation. Is yielding very good results. Why I started this Junicorn concept. It's called Junior Unicorn. It's an aspirational concept. Why I started this? When I went to many schools and colleges, I saw a lot of energy, a lot of passion in them, and they're able to come out with, I thought, whatever Joho is doing is the right thing, identifying the people at early age and molding them the way they want. See, people say in Telugu, Mokka ivangande, Mana ivangadu. The plant stays, you can bend it the way you want. Because too big, you can't bend that big a tree. So, the same problem in the conventional, people who are already in the big industries, to ask them to go innovative, to change it is very difficult. Whereas I can mold a student who is in a 10th class or intermediate and mold him to come with the innovative ideas and all that. That's when I thought about the Junicorn concept. Now what we are doing, see, India, rural India, we have a lot of problems. And these problems have to be identified and solved by local people. Thinking that, no, somebody will come, some government minister will come and solve it. No, that's not, in the last 75 years, that never happened. So, what I am telling, there are a lot of opportunities and there are a lot of talent. See, earlier, why people used to come to Bangalore, Hyderabad, there's no ecosystem. In villages, there's no ecosystem. COVID times, it proved that this thing, ecosystem is there in every village in India. Internet is there. All the hospitals of multi-specialty hospitals are there nearby, and there are international schools are there. For example, Anantapur, where I come from, when I was studying, only one nursing home used to be there and one convent school, LRG comes. Today, there are so many, 6 international school and multi-specialty hospitals and entire ecosystem. Internet is there. There's a reason why many people are still working from the villages, working from home and all that. So, I thought that this is the right time to create opportunities for the rural boys and girls and tell them you can also create a unicorn kind of, this unicorn is aspirational. Not necessarily that they have to build a unicorn company, but that's a bigger aspiration. But you start identifying those problems
right at the childhood level.
And we will mold you. We are there to mentor you. We are there to give the money, funding and all that, this thing. With that concept, we are now this year, we identified 50 rural innovators from 4 states, Karnataka state, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Orissa. From these states, we identified 50 rural, most of them are single parents and orphans, that kind of a background.
So all innovators.
They're all innovators. They went through all the competition, ideathon competition, hackathon competition. We selected them and we are taking them all the way to represent rural India to participate in the international ISF Junicorn conference in Austin, Texas, month of May.
That's massive.
May 29th, all these people, they can't even afford to get a passport. We are getting them passport. We are getting them trying to get the visa, US visa for them. We are also taking the tickets of this thing.
So ISF is contributing all of this.
All of this.
Wow.
Yeah, because we can't afford.
Yeah.
And see, my philosophy is, Bharath, they have the energy, they have the passion. Only thing, they don't have the exposure. I want to give them the international exposure. Once they're in physics, there is a escape velocity concept. Once the rocket goes beyond that escape, afterwards it goes on its own. So we have to push these kids beyond that escape velocity. Then you don't have to mentor. They themselves will create opportunities for them. With that as the idea. And today, fortunately, I mean, these kids, I mean, I want all these 50 kids to be adopt each NRI who are coming for the conference. They are adopt at least one kid for the lifelong mentoring to see that they are successful. In fact, one entrepreneur from Austin, he said, not only I adopt, I'll create opportunities for them to become micro entrepreneurs. He's setting up all the facilities like telemedicine facilities. He is investing and they're asking them to manage those things, and they'll get money, monthly money, and they'll take care of the family while they're also getting the online education, the best education possible. They'll continue the education at the same time. They're also earning as a micro entrepreneur. If you're able to do that, the others who are getting into wrong ways, like some people I was told they're becoming drug addicts, alcohol addicts, all that this thing, they will also try to get into this. I give the analogy, when there is a cancer cells in your body, you create good cells which will eat away the cancer cells and the body becomes all right. So the same analogy, if you go and tell the rural area, no, drugs are not good for you, alcohol, nobody will listen. You create these positive change makers who are coming all the way from US after getting adopted and create opportunities. Looking at them, oh, their kids are gone all the way to US and they met the Honorable Prime Minister and they got mentored by CEOs of big companies. Why not my kids also? Then all the rural youth, I mean, instead of getting into the antisocial elements, they will try to get into the positive side. That's where I thought, I mean, we can build a new India, new rural youth which are going to transform India. That's the concept of Junicorn concept, and also the rural innovators from India.
All I can say is salute to you, sir. This is really incredible. I mean, this is a real unconditional giving example. I think many of us have to join hands with you into saying,
I need all of your help.
Absolutely, sir. It comes unconditionally. I mean, this is really massive. I mean, you trying to bring a ground level change, because people try to see it at 10,000 feet level, but something to do at a ground level change.
See, I'll tell you an example, Bharath, because I am basically agriculturist. In agriculture, the root, this thing, there is an insect, in Telugu they call Verupurugu, that actually cuts the roots. It's there resides in the roots. Whatever medicines you give externally, it will not work. The whole plant will die. When this is happening at the root level, you have to provide injection at the root level. That's what the ISR Junicorns, the rural innovators, because that is the fundamental this thing. Today India is talking about the demographic dividend, the young people coming. 70% of our population still lives in the rural India.
Correct.
That's where the
Real power is.
infections are happening. We have to remove that virus.
Correct.
And convert that bad virus into good virus.
How can one be part of International Startup Foundation?
Yeah, anybody can join our. Is like a Swaraj movement. It's a new Swaraj for India.
Should they write to you
all of you are volunteers. In fact, we don't have any paid employees. I'm running this for the last 3.5 years without any paid employee. All of them are volunteers. Some of them are CXOs in big companies, investors, and people like you are also this thing. So please join our
Absolutely
movement. This is like a fire ritual.
Absolutely.
We need Samitas to see that Mahayagnam really produces the good results for the country.
One last question to you, Chowdary sir. It's such an inspirational talk you have. You know about Pace Wisdom. You know about Pace Wisdom story about us, about our co-founding team, and you know our journey where we have come all across. What is the message that you would want to give to young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs like us who have been matured or a point of time, or like budding entrepreneurs who's coming into business? What is the message you would want to give?
See, Bharath, what I noticed after talking to you and all your founders, you have a very good bonding. All of you started the journey. You're all classmates from the school level. Generally, that kind of a bonding is very. I mean, I have not seen this thing.
To answer in your way, thanks to God.
No, see, and you're built without working anywhere. You build the company to this level. You're at a inflection point, and since you got a great team, you should think of creating new products in AI, which are at a world scale, competitive at the world scale, and we have so many opportunities. For example, MSME companies around Bangalore, they need AI implemented.
Absolutely.
If you're able to provide a cost-effective AI solution to our own MSME company, they'll also be benefited.
Correct.
And you are also going to create a lot of jobs and all this thing. I think you are sitting on a gold mine, and you got a great team. You are at an inflection point. From here, you can create not only products for the new age, and also create a lot of jobs on this thing. You should create a role model how a small company like yours can create waves and create jobs, create wealth for the whole nation. I think we are there to support you.
Absolutely, sir. Thanks a lot. It means a lot to us. With the grace of God and blessings of great gentlemen like you, we should be able to pull it off. We are definitely on the same lines of thinking, execution, building strategies at the board level, and we have great mentors like you who keeps guiding us. Definitely, yes. I had a very great talk with you in an episode. I mean, I just want to see that if this can influence some of them to a great positive change and optimistic drive, nothing like that. I know you're so extremely busy shuttling between US, India, Canada, Jamaica, whatnot countries, and you took time all the way coming from Hyderabad to Bangalore to shoot for this. It really means a lot to us, sir.
See, whenever I identify energetic person like you, I don't want to leave you.
Thank you, sir.
Right? Because if at all we have to bring any change, we need people like you.
Thank you, sir.
And
it's an honor.
And you have to replicate yourself and create more Bharaths.
Absolutely, sir.
That will bring all the positive change.
Yeah, I think I have learned a lot from you from the time I took a flight in Singapore, and we're destined to sit each other for the 4-hour journey.
Yes.
And we spent all the 4 productive hours with you, and it's been a...
We have the energy. I'm drawing energy from you.
Thank you. Thanks for that, sir. It was a immensely great discussion we had. And I will cherish this for the rest of my life. And this is also well documented. Thank you for gracing us. Thank you for visiting Pace Wisdom.
Thank
you for visiting an episode.
Wish you all the success, Bharath.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Create a new Bharath.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you. Thank you.